Keys to the Game brought to you by Wentz Orthodontics. Chris Level, Mr. John Harris here, and back home this week. A little homecoming matchup with the Iowa State Cyclones, 2:30 kick. Thoughts on this game in general before we get to maybe some keys?
Well, you know, you've really played three difficult games in a row at Arkansas and TCU and Baylor, and two of those conference games against two top five teams. You've spent a lot of energy, came very close to winning 2 out of 3 of those, but did not get TCU or did not get Baylor. I just hope being back home in this kind of atmosphere, a homecoming, you're ready to go. I think that's really very important for this team.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Kingsbury's talked a lot about the maturity of his football team this week, and I think you see that clearly will be evident against this Iowa State team, and you need to lean on that if indeed you are. So, okay, a quick key would be what in this one?
Well, I think easily to be Captain Red Raider obvious. What happened last week? You have 17 penalties. You turn the football over 4 times, more than you had in the previous 4 games in terms of turnovers, and in terms of penalties, you almost equal what you had for the season. You can't do that kind of thing. I think you found out a year ago when you only won 4 times that turning the football over and that kind of number of penalties and that sort of yards make it very difficult to win ball games regardless of who you're playing.
Is that what you're going as is Halloween, on Halloween? You know, Captain Red Raider obvious? Sure, I want to know what the costume looks like there. Yeah, if so. To me, this is all about a fast start, I think, for Texas Tech because this is not an explosive Iowa State team. I mean, you're averaging about twice as many points per game as they are. You've scored, I think, 73 points in the first quarter compared to them scoring 9 points. So I think that what Baylor did to you last week is they were able to get out in front of you, and then you kind of cracked, and you couldn't keep up. I think you have a chance to do that to Iowa State if you start fast.
You know, and I think the Red Raiders aren't necessarily a team that gets out of sync if they get behind, because they are a team that can score quickly as well. And you got off to a great start against Iowa State a year ago, and they slowly kind of battled back. But you started turning the ball over as well. Get off to a great start, don't turn it over, don't hurt yourself, and then Iowa State will not be able to catch up.
And to me, really, DeAndre, I think, you know, behind that offensive line is establishing the run game in this one is paramount. Because you could be missing some of these receivers. We know Coach Kingsbury said he and Sadler are not going to play. Devin Lauderdale is questionable, so may have to lean on some young receivers, which means you ought to lean on your senior running back.
Well, and you should, and he played so well against these guys a year ago, and which at the time was his career best game, and he's come back and surpassed that this year. He's played very, very well. And on the defensive side, you're going to have to stop Iowa State's run, too. They've kind of found that with a freshman running back, Mike Warren. But if you do that, I think you leave Iowa State in a mess, and I don't know that their quarterback is a guy who, like Mahomes, can almost single-handedly beat you.
There he is, Mr. John Harris, Chris Level, Wentz Orthodontics, Keys to the Game right there.